Tegan, thank you. We are your local election headquarters. Before the November contest for Vermont Lieutenant Governor, there will be a Democratic primary. Ryan McLaren, who worked as an advisor to Peter Welch for about a decade, confirms a run, taking on former Lieutenant Governor Molly Gray. ABC 22's Matt Holderman spoke with McLaren today, and he joins us now live from the newsroom.
Thanks, Lauren. McLaren describes himself as a lifelong Vermonter who watched his parents work hard to give him and his siblings a good life. He says a big reason he's running is he notices hard work doesn't get you as far as it used to in Vermont, with the price of many things being too high, and he wants to help change that.
My name is Ryan McLaren, and I'm running for Lieutenant Governor because I believe in Vermont's future.
In a campaign video released Thursday morning, the race for Vermont Lieutenant Governor became a bit more packed as longtime Peter Welch aide Ryan McLaren officially announced his candidacy.
It's just too hard for working people to make ends meet.
That's really what motivates me. The fact that I'm doing this is because my parents.
Reflecting on his time growing up in the state, McLaren says the Vermont his parents were able to make a living in no longer exists due to many of the crises that developed the last few decades, such as housing, education, and healthcare. In his 10 years working with Welch, he says he spoke with many people who are starting to lose faith in Vermont's ability to dig out of those holes, and he hopes to make a difference on all of those fronts.
All of these problems exacerbate the other. And we need to build a Vermont where you can afford a home, you can send your kids to a great public school, and know that if you work hard, you can get ahead.
With other big names having already announced their intent to run as well, working hard is exactly what McLaren will have to do to get ahead in this race. He'll square off against former Lieutenant Governor Molly Gray in the Democratic primary, and whoever prevails in that contest could then have to go up against the incumbent, John Rogers, if he does run to keep his seat. But McLaren says his main concern in this campaign isn't who he's running against, it's the issues he's running to fix.
My opponent in this race is not political. It is more spiritual. It's the sense, a lack of optimism in the future. I believe I'm the person with the most experience to get things done for Vermonters.
McLaren will be busy the next few months, no doubt. He says he plans to do the same thing he did with Senator Welch for 10 years, travel around the state and get his face out there talking and listening to Vermonters. He'll also have an official campaign kickoff party 3 weeks from now, where he plans to announce endorsements he's gained. Meanwhile, his opponent, Molly Gray, already has a couple dozen state lawmakers and community leaders supporting her, including former Governor Howard Dean and Senate President Pro Tem Phil Baruth. Live in the newsroom, Matt Holderman, ABC 22 News.